Hello my friends, welcome to Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, October 2nd, 2018. This is Jennifer. I am back from the UK. We actually got back late Wednesday last week. We had a couple days to rest and to get over the international travel plague that we both picked up. And from that point on, it was helping our daughter get ready to move. She moved yesterday and I am in her empty bedroom, which is why it's so echoey. There is nothing in here besides me, my camera, and a lamp so that we can have some light in this gloomy day. It did have an amazing trip and I want to share that with you guys. We flew from Austin to London and from London to Edinburgh, and it was not the greatest flight. There was a lot of turbulence. I got the worst motion sickness I've ever had in my life, and it took me an entire day to recover from it. But from there, we spent an amazing day in Edinburgh, and then we took the train down to Berwick, and then from Berwick we went to Lindisfarne, and we were on Lindisfarne on the Holy Island from Friday to Monday, and that was where I got to spend an entire day with Vicky and her family, which was fantastic. It was wonderful. We got to spend more time, way more time together than we did last time. We all stayed in the same cottage. And we had a really great roommate who was just someone I met on the Facebook group for the Dig Ventures event, which was called Dig Nation, for anybody who is any kind of archaeology geek. This was a time team sort of centric event that was honoring the memory and work of Mick Aston, who was one of the presenters and like the head archaeologist on Time Team. So it was a very geeky event. It was fantastic. There were Viking reenactors, which I somehow managed to not get any pictures of, but there was a castle in our backyard. We were staying on an island. There was a beautiful beach. And it was cold there, which was fantastic because it is not cold here. It will not be cold here probably for a couple months. So that was wonderful. We met some wonderful people. We got to eat in a fantastic, just amazing pub on the island. And then from the island on Monday, we took the train from Berwick to Oxford. So we went to Berwick to London, London to Oxford, and then we had a day and a half in Oxford, and we squeezed in as much as we possibly could. The trip was really about going to Lindisfarne, and we just sort of cushioned it on both ends so we would have some time for travel. And because we don't, going abroad is such a thing. I mean, it's a 10-hour flight from Austin to London, so it's not a thing that you do lightly. Also, there's a 6-hour time difference, which jet lag on the way there is always pretty bad. It's obviously not a thing that we do every day, so we squeezed in as much as we could on the days that we were there. And Oxford, we just happened to stumble upon a Tolkien gallery that was happening at the university. We had no idea what was going on because I didn't do any research, because we tacked Oxford on right at the end because we weren't sure that we were going to do it. So maybe 3 weeks, a month before we left, we added that in, and there was so much other stuff going on, it just didn't really look to see what was up. So we did that. We went to the Natural History Museum, the Pitt Rivers Museum, and then we went to the cemetery where Tolkien and his wife are buried. And anybody who's known me for any length of time knows that The Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, anything written by Tolkien was my first fandom, but also what I did a lot of work on, and for my degree when I was in college, I did many papers on many different aspects of Tolkien's work when I was in university, and it was amazing. When in Edinburgh, our one solid day, we did the Potter Trail, which is a tour that you can take. It's a free tour with a tour guide where you tip at the end, and it's all these amazing places around where J.K. Rowling was writing and working when she was writing the first couple of Harry Potter books. So that was amazing. I found a very special gift for Jules in the bookshop that many believe inspired Flourish and Blot, so that was delightful. We went to Edinburgh Castle, which was amazing. We just, like I said, we crammed in so very much. If you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, you got to see a lot of the pictures that I posted, but we had a wonderful time. I loved getting to see Vicky and her husband Lee, and I got to meet her children, and they're just adorable and wonderful, and I loved that so much. And I do have a couple little things to show you. Vicky brought me all kinds of goodies, including wonderful things to eat and all kinds of treats, and she made tea for me, and she brought us biscuits and cheese, and we had a wonderful time. But I also wanted to share what she got for me on the island. She picked up this little print on Lindisfarne, and she got one for herself too. This is the castle up on the hill here. This is the castle that was in our backyard when we were at Lindisfarne. And I am just so delighted by this. I'm gonna hang it on my friendship wall. She also gave me this awesome little Celtic stained glass, which will probably go in my kitchen window. That's where I put most things like this. So I wanted to share those with you guys. I have not watched anyone's videos, so if you guys have said anything about our trip, or Vicky, if you've posted, I have no idea. So I will hopefully be catching up on those in the next couple days. Between moving my daughter out and traveling and then being sick after traveling, I mean, I had travel plague. I was tired and sore throat and jet lagged, and I mean, we just went for 8 days solid. We just went. And when I got home, I crashed and spent several days just feeling terrible. I read all of An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green, which is fantastic. I am now halfway through reading the latest Cormoran Strike mystery novel, which is J.K. Rowling's book series under the pseudonym Robert Galbraith, which I do have to tell you guys really quick that I slogged across Edinburgh to find that. I wanted to buy it in Edinburgh so bad because that is where she lives. And there were a million of them in the airport in London, and I didn't buy one there because I wanted it in Edinburgh. And we got there, and all the little bookstores I went to were specialty stores, and none of them had mystery novels. None of them had modern mystery novels. There was like a specialty sci-fi shop and this other little specialty store where I got the special gift for Jules that she got in the mail yesterday, but no Cormoran Strike novels. So while we were waiting for our train, we had like an hour and a half to leave before we left Edinburgh to go down to Berwick. I seriously walked like 6 blocks on my bad foot to go to Waterstones to pick up this book. I walked in the door, it was front and center, I grabbed it, I checked out, and the guy at the counter was like, "You look like you're on a mission." And I was like, "I am on a mission." So I got my book, headed back to the train station. We got on a train and left Scotland. So that was fantastic. I had took all variety of videos, and I'm gonna put lots of it in at the end. Some of it's out train windows, some of it's at the island where we were. I took some at the train station in Edinburgh, so I'm just gonna throw it all in there. I'm not gonna put any explanation. If you guys have questions, let me know and I'll tell you what you're seeing. And because Talk to Me Tuesday is supposed to be crafty show and tell, I do have a thing to show you, and it is surprising even to me. A half an hour before we left Austin for London, I got a wild hair that I needed to take some handwork with me. I wasn't working on anything. I haven't crocheted in a long time because I'm in repetitive stress, but I was like, you know, I'm gonna pull up my yarn and see what I have, and I'm gonna just take some with me, and I will work on a blanket on the plane and in the airport, etc. I had 2 colors of yarn because I had given everything else to Linus. I hadn't kept any yarn except for I had a skein of white yarn, and I had the skein of like that orange yarn that I used for my son's costume that I made the pom-poms with that we then replaced with crepe paper. That's all I had. So I have been working on a crochet blanket for the Linus connection. It is, you can see where I'm hanging from my bag here. This is the Linus sideways shell. You can get on the Project Linus website. I think Jules might be working on the same exact blanket, or maybe just finished one recently. And I didn't have enough of either yarn for a full one, so I'm gonna do orange, white, and then orange again, and then do a white border all the way around. And I have not had any problems with my repetitive stress while working on this, so that has been fantastic. And I've been keeping the project in my Oxford bag I showed you guys a couple weeks ago because it zips closed and it keeps kitties out when I'm not working. That is gonna be it for me. I am back, you guys. If you're waiting for an email, please be patient. I seriously have not checked my email in a week. I put my vacation responder on and I was on vacation. I really needed the holiday. I will be responding to those emails over the course of the week. I will be getting back into Fandom and Stitches and all the things I normally do over the course of the week. Don't forget, tomorrow is another Hocus Pocus quilt along. I did not post a reminder last week because I was flying over the Atlantic Ocean when it was 8 a.m. Central Time, so I didn't have Wi-Fi. There was no Wi-Fi on the plane, so I didn't do anything last week, but like I said, I'm back at it, and we will just get right back in there. You guys have a wonderful week. You have a crafty week, and I will see you next week. Bye.